How many meals should I have a day? How much should I even eat a day? Do I need a protein shake? Is there any food that I need to avoid? We're gonna answer all that today. What's going on, people? So today we're talking about nutrition, and nutrition for those trying to lose that little bit of extra body fat. First things first, I want you guys to take a look at this video if you haven't already. It's going to teach you how to calculate your macros, because that's when your first step. I want you to calculate how much macros, how much food you should be eating a day to maintain your same body weight.
How do you want to do that? You stay the same body weight.
Knowing where your balance is, knowing what your body responds to actually maintain where you are. Now, because from there we can actually calculate your deficit. Your deficit is that amount of calories you should be having just below your maintenance, so you can actually start losing that body fat. We're not trying to lose body weight. I'm actually exaggerating the fact we're trying to lose body fat, because weight, that's including muscle as well. We want to try and maintain as much muscle as we can. So you're actually working at a deficit now. Let's say 250 calories to start with. Week 1, you're working at maintenance. Week 2, you've cut your calories by about 250 calories. You start to lose a little bit of body fat, and you've lost, let's say, 0.3 of a kilo. Not the most, you're not going to see it, but you've lost some body fat. From there, you've got two options. You can either increase your training intensity, training volume, how much you're lifting, or you again drop your calories again, that little bit, maybe about 150, 200 calories again in week 3. And that way you're bridging the gap and your body's coming out of balance once again, and it has to adapt to it. And how your body adapts to that is, again, by losing that body fat. So a lot of people, you've probably seen it, you may have done it yourself, where you go straight to the gym or start a brand new diet and you'll cut your calories by 1,000. You're saying, yes, I'm eating 1,200 calories today, and I'm going to be training sprints and burpees and box jumps and all this craziness on 1,200 calories, and you just haven't fed your body enough to actually survive that. Problem with that, when you do actually cut your calories so sudden and so quick, is your body actually responds in the opposite effect, and it's more likely to claw onto food that you're actually eating in those 1,200. So if you was to eat once here and then once in the evening, your body's more likely gonna hold on to that food, because like, I don't know when I'm gonna get this food again, so let me hold on to this because I need to be able to breathe, I need to be able to do all the bodily functions which food actually provides for as well. So one thing I do advise is trying to keep your calories as high as possible for as long as possible. You're going to feel better for it, and your body's actually going to function a hell of a lot better. So the other downside effect of cutting your calories too quick is you have nowhere to progress to. You can only increase your training intensity by so much. Your body can only do so much. So food, you have to really try and maximize what you can do with food. If you cut it all the way down to 1,000 calories from now, what are you going to do in 2, 3, 4 weeks time when you still need to lose that body fat? Because you already lost 1.5 kilos and your goal is to lose 10. So what are you going to do in that period? Start as high as possible, keep it there as long as possible while still maintaining losing body fat, and just play around with your training intensity. When your training intensity is at a point where you can't really train too much harder, then you start to look to drop your calories ever so slightly. You play around with your fats and carbs. Proteins, you want to keep that the same. Proteins you want to keep at a high level. It's your fats and carbs which you're looking to drop. So that's your rice, your pastas, your potatoes, and then your fats. You're looking at your avocados, your oils, the yolk. Oh, I hate yolk anyway, in eggs. So we've all heard,
no carbs after 7 p.m.
That is total rubbish. You can't eat carbs after 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is not like some magical time where if you eat it after 7, it's going to be stored as fat. What that blanket rule is trying to say is eat carbs for function. If you're training, have carbs in and around your training sessions. Respect. You don't actually need to have carbs just to satisfy yourself. You actually want to eat for function. So with that in mind, you can start to understand and start to plan your day a lot better with when you should be eating what sort of foods. Number 1, protein stays consistent throughout all your meals. If you're meant to be having, let's say, 120 grams of protein for the day, you're having 5 meals a day, you're breaking that down to each meal, you should be having 24 grams of protein in each meal. That way your protein's covered. Your carbs, you want to look at when you're most energetic. if you're working out in the morning, then you're going to want to have carbs for your breakfast, pre-workout, and you're going to want to have carbs for your post-workout meal as well. You may have some for your lunch because again, you may be on your feet depending on what your job you're doing or where you're at. You may have some for lunch, and then evening and maybe that last meal before you go to sleep, you may want to stay away from carbs. I'm not saying it's because you don't eat carbs after 7, but it's because you worked out and this is when you're most energized, in the morning. On the flip side, you don't work out in the morning. For breakfast, you're looking at proteins and fats. You're looking at maybe egg and avocado, egg and salmon. You're looking at stuff, proteins and fats, staying away from carbs. No toast, no cereal. Special K, slimming. It's all branding. They just want to sell you stuff. They just want to make you believe that this is going to slim you down. How is a bowl of cereal, a bowl of carbs, necessary? That's what it is. How is that going to help you slim down? It's not. It's just branding, and that's what people want to make you to believe, just so you can buy into their product. So if you're not working out in the morning, you can avoid carbs. You may avoid it for your second meal as well. For your third meal at lunch, you may be getting a bit more active, so you may have some carbs, maybe slow digestive carbs, brown rice, sweet potato, brown pasta, something like that. Then let's say you're working out 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. You're going to have your pre-workout at 4 o'clock, 4:30, and that's when you're going to have your white rice or your white potatoes or something quite fast digesting with carbs before then. And after your workout, you're going to have some more carbs again. That may be 8 o'clock, that may be 8:30, depends how long you work out, how far you live from the gym. So this is what I'm saying, eating after 7 o'clock, eating carbs after 7 o'clock is not such a bad thing. Don't fall into the myth. You want to be aiming to eat meals about every 3 to 4 hours. You want to try and avoid snacking as much as you can. I build plans for people and they're like, oh, so what snacks can I have in between?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's like snacks don't account for anything. People feel like snacks don't account for anything. Snacks are the secret killers. Snacks, and I'll say sauces. They're your secret killers in terms of adding calories into your diet, which you don't actually account for. That little cheeky niblet there, that little cheeky niblet there. Try to cut it out, because as soon as you actually start eating, you spike insulin levels. And in the presence of insulin, you actually reduce the amount of fat you can actually lose. For my cereal snackers out there, for those that just can't live without a snack, my biggest advice is, 1, to remove the temptations. Don't have the temptations in your house. Don't just have the packet of crisps or the big multi-pack. Oh, it's for the kids. Oh, it's just for when people come over. Take it out of the house. Do yourself a favor. At work, you got that drawer of snacks. Clear it out. And another tip as well, don't shop when you're hungry. I do that sometimes. When I'm hungry, I just want things which are nice and quick and sweet. All the stuff which is actually gonna counterbalance what I'm trying to achieve in the gym, what I'm trying to achieve with my physique and my life. Moving on to supplements and how we should include supplements into our diet. A rule of thumb, supplements are there to fill in those blank spots which your diet is actually lacking. If I'm lacking in 25 grams of protein because I'm not able to eat that through my meats, my fish, my egg, then you're going to take this supplement which gives you that 25 grams. You just need to read the contents on the back, not the picture, just read the contents. It just gives you the 25 grams of protein and you include that into your diet, and boom, you've got your protein which you're lacking in. You don't want to read the front, so the front may say leaning protein for those who want to lose weight, but then on the back is giving you 20 grams of protein and then it's giving you 10 grams of fat. That for the next person may be perfect because maybe their diet is lacking in 10 grams of fat and it's lacking in 20 grams of protein. But for you, your fat intake's already at its top. It's already where it should be, so you don't need that supplement. That's actually going to make you do the opposite and make you probably stay where you are. I remember I had a client I had 2 clients. One client was my from start, and then another one was a referral who knew this client, my first client. So I gave my client, the first one, she started having protein shakes after a while, after her body actually started requiring it, after her diet required it. And she has protein shakes and she kept on losing the weight. She ended up losing near enough, maybe 35, 40 kilos. I can't remember now. She lost a lot of weight. The second client, I actually didn't give her protein shakes. She's come at a point where this client, her friend, is taking protein shakes, and she's like, I'm not losing weight, it's because I'm not having this protein shake. Why am I not having this special juice? I'm like, yeah, she referred to a special juice first. I'm like, what special juice? And then that's when I realized it was the casein. It was like a slow digestive protein, which I take at night sometimes. I'll talk about it in a second. But she wasn't having this protein shake, so she thought it was down to this, and you're keeping it from. I'm like, I'm not keeping protein shakes. Are not like the all end and the savior. It's not that. Protein shakes are there just to supplement you. It's in the name, to supplement you with protein when your diet is not giving you enough. I tried to explain that you at the moment you do not need any protein. You're having maybe about 100 grams a day, and you can get that easily in your food. Then I accept that answer. But hey, it's just going to show that a lot of people are under the conception that protein shakes are the reason why anyone's big or the reason why anyone's small. Most people actually think that can't have protein shakes if you're trying to slim down. Protein shakes are not going to put on weight. They're not going to give you size. It's only when you have too much of anything where you actually start to grow. With what type of protein to pick, it's simply that. You have loads of different types of proteins. So only two proteins I usually go for is either whey or casein. Probably both. Whey I have during the day or like before a workout, whatever it is. And then casein I'll have just before I sleep. Casein is like a slow digestive protein which feeds your body whilst you're sleeping, keeping you out of that catabolic state. When you're trying to pick a protein shake, you just need to read the back. Don't look at the front, don't look at the picture. Just read the back, the contents, and look at the protein intake, the carb intake, and the fat intake. If your diet only requires you to have 20 grams of protein, then you look for a protein shake which only has, doesn't matter how much protein, has X amount of protein, very little carbs, and very little fat, maybe 1 gram of each. Because then that way you are just getting this supplement to supplement this need of protein. If you only need 20 grams of protein, you go get Serious Mass, which has 25 grams of protein in there, but with that's coming 123 or 125 grams of carbs. That's in one scoop, by the way. Then clearly that this protein shake is not for you. They probably waited all this time to find out what is the special food. What's the special foods I should be eating? What's the special foods I should be avoiding to keep that slim waist? There's actually no special food. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no special food which I'm eating or any other fitness guru or athlete is eating to stay in shape. We're just controlling what we're eating and we're sticking to it. Being in control of what's going inside your body, you're gonna be able to control on how your body actually looks. Foods which I may avoid certain foods such as dairy. I do avoid dairy, but besides that, your sugary sweets, avoiding that. McDonald's, I'm avoiding McDonald's. So again, there's no special food, there's no special pill which you need to be taking to get the goal that you desire. Follow those simple steps of 1, find your maintenance, staying at your maintenance for about a week so your body can get used to that. 2, cut your calories ever so slightly but still maintaining a good intensity in your training. 3, get rid of that drawer, get rid of that cupboard that's got all those snacks in there, get rid of it completely. 4, don't shop when you're hungry. Shop when you're happy, you're full, you've got a list, and you stick by that. And 5, no, there's no magic pill. Just keep those parameters in check and you'll be fine. If you guys like this video, leave me a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. In the comment section below, let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to see. If you guys want to see one on muscle building, then let me know. If there's any more questions about this, then leave me a comment below. See you in the next video.